Module 12 case study for EDL 852. So in this section we will establish the facts, so the community information, timeline of events, who is involved, and what is currently being done. Community information: Lakeville is a smaller rural community near a large city. 60% of its residents live on working farms. Current school population is 1,200 students. It's K through 12, with 2% growth year over year, which only constitutes to maybe gaining 3 students in 10 years. However, they were at 700 students about 5 years ago and then experienced huge population growth, which is why they have a newer secondary school as well as elementary schools. Timeline of events: their current buildings are running out of room, so the school district engaged with the planner to identify solutions. Their solutions were build additions to the existing building for K through 6 and 7 through 12, build additions to the 7 through 12 building and move grade 6 out of the primary, and then build a new middle school for 6th and 8th grade. Recommended was to build the new building for the long term. The referendum to build this new building was passed after 4 months of debate, and it passed 4-1. The superintendent recommended to hire a principal for the middle school 12 months out from its opening. Susan Potter was hired on August 1st. She worked to establish a committee including 4 teachers and 4 parents to be the vision and planning committee. Conflict came about when trying to establish a vision statement for the new building. Who is involved? Susan Potter. She is the principal from a larger suburban school district. Former assistant principal Helen Burke. She's an English teacher. Her brother is a board member who voted for the building. She's also the head of the committee. Joe Rawlings. He is the superintendent. Community members. So there's 3 different factions of community members: those who support the build, those who oppose the build, and then those who support the additions to the buildings. And then the committee members. These are people who wanted to help with staffing, programs, and planning. The committee operation, from the get-go, Susan had expressed that she would like the committee to not be the head of the committee. She also expressed that the committee should operate democratically and consensus would be the method for making decisions. Her vision statement would reflect the collective values of the community and that stakeholders would be given an opportunity to make suggestions. The summation of the problems. Susan has the choice to honor the expectations she laid out for the group to be democratic when making decisions, or to go against this expectation and having the group help to create a vision statement for the new school in the Lightfoot School District. Legal and ethical considerations. In this section, we will cover both legal issues seen and unseen, ethical issues internally and externally, and if there are any breaches of contract. Legal issues. There's no real legal issues to consider as no one is breaking the law. Ethical issues. Susan's in a dilemma of standing her ground or not. She can either say we will be democratic and this will be done collectively, or we're not, or we're going to go about and restart the committee and do all that. The committee could be seen as difficult in the light of Susan. Externally, Joe Rawlings could be viewed as selecting the wrong person for the job. The committee members could be viewed as holding the process hostage, which would all be just significant negative impacts to the process. Breaches of contract. There's no real breach of contract in the legal aspect. However, Susan and the committee are running the risk of breaching social contracts. They were selected to do a job, make progress, and plan the new school. If they're unable to come to a conclusion, then they will be viewed as being in breach of that social contract that they agreed to perform. Any missing pieces in this section will be covered. Pieces of information which may help to guide the solution and new sources to aid in the solution. I think when it comes to missing pieces, wondering if there is a vision statement, what norms were in place by Joe Rawlings when he has meetings, because that would be something that some of those teachers are drawing from on their experiences, and what other resources are available to the committee as far as digital resources, community resources, and things like that that would help them in their process. Section 4, prioritizing. So in this section, we'll prioritize the facts. So here's the facts. The committee is democratic. Consensus is how decisions are made, and the committee voted and came to a consensus on how the vision statement will be made. The vision statement will reflect the collective thoughts, and stakeholders will have input. So in this section, we'll explore the solutions, suggest possible solutions, and evaluate the solutions, and submit the final plan for the to solve the problem. So solution one is to restart the committee with new members. The pros to this, it can re-engage with new norms. The members may improve, flexing the muscle of authority for Susan and Joe Rollins for that matter. The cons would be losing face with staff in the community, upset the current members, and may not find willing people to re-engage on the community. She could do it all on her own. So pros, seen as having had the wherewithal to withstand adversity, is done quickly, the plans for the committee works out. Cons, it does not reflect their collective thoughts, no information from stakeholders, and if anything fails, Susan is blamed. 3, do it on her own, but engage stakeholders in committee. So pros, this accomplishes both goals, seen as a compromiser. Cons, it does take longer than going it on her own. I would choose to do choice number 3, and this would kind of be how I would see it playing out and the process I would follow. I would survey the community members for qualitative feedback regarding the school and its purpose. Utilize this feedback to generate various themes and commonalities amongst the responses, and then have community members and committee members prioritize and rank the themes found, and then construct 2 to 3 vision statements to present and offer them to the group to pick one which resonates with the community. By engaging people in the process and doing it on my own, I would show an ability to handle adversity and the unexpected. I would hope the community would feel ownership in the process of the creation through their feedback offered, and when it is presented to the board, the group ultimately select the final vision statement. So I view this as a pleasant compromise in that I'm able to, or Susan is able to, present a few different vision statements, and then the board selects the one that they think is best. But it does save the process of wordsmithing vision statements and going through a committee to make those decisions as well. Here's my closing statements on the assignment, and thank you.